Hi, I'm Chena Morris, realtor in the Upper Cumberland area of Tennessee, and today I'm speaking to Vanessa Garcia, who moved here out of Northern California to Sparta, Tennessee a little over a year ago. So what is your reason that you left California?
So there was quite a few reasons. The main ones probably had to do with the cost of living becoming so high there, the cost of buying a home. It was just completely out of my kids' reach, and I wanted them to have the opportunities that we had. A lot of that had to do with politics and some things that were being passed that didn't align with our morals, and that were making the general living health there, if that's, I don't know how else to put it, but just not the way we wanted our lives to go and our children's lives. And we were just really looking for a change.
You mentioned that you wanted to move here to give your kids the same opportunities that you guys had in maybe buying a house.
Yeah.
Did your children come with you?
So one of them did. We have a 16-year-old who came with us, and then we have a 26 and 27-year-old who didn't move here initially, but they ended up following us about less than a year later. They both live here now as well. They both love it here. And then our 16-year-old, he was a little bit anxious initially about the move, but once we were here and he got himself situated at school, he's like, he says it was the best move ever. He loves it here. He would never go back to California.
Did your 26 and 27-year-old initially think that they were going to stay in California, or did they always plan to come eventually?
They planned to come eventually, yeah. It just took them a little longer to get their lives in order to
Gotcha.
follow us, yeah.
Okay. How did you find this area of Tennessee?
So we flew down here a while before we had actually decided to move, and we drove through all areas of like Middle Tennessee, and we happened to have friends who lived in Cookeville, and so in our journey of touring the state of Tennessee, we came to visit them obviously, and they were able to give us a little bit more of a local tour of the area, and we just fell in love with the whole Upper Cumberland area and all the things that it has to offer.
Are you still happy with your decision to move to Tennessee?
Yeah, 100%.
And what's your favorite thing about this area or Tennessee in general?
Favorite thing about this area is just all of the options as far as like hiking, fishing. There's so much water and camping areas around here. There's just a lot of things to do in nature.
The outdoors,
yeah.
And it's all free.
And it's all free,
And it's
exactly.
all free.
And there's just so much to do that you can't possibly, I don't think you could see it all in a lifetime.
That's what I always tell people when they come to visit. Like, I could entertain you for 30 days nonstop. How you going? So there's just a ton to do.
Yeah.
Were there any misconceptions about Tennessee that you had, or maybe you think people have when you told them that you were moving to Tennessee?
Yeah, a lot of it, probably the biggest one was that people in California think that people in Tennessee will hate us and want to send us home.
Yes.
Which is far from the truth. I mean, they don't want us to bring the California politics, but as far as being accepted and loved and being part of the community, people are just the nicest that we've seen.
So whenever I'm talking to people and they're thinking about moving to the South, Tennessee in general, they're terrified of tornadoes and humidity.
Right.
Are either of those things affecting your life now that you're in here in Tennessee?
Absolutely not. I would have to say the fire seasons in California affected my life way more than either of those do.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
What about the bugs?
Bugs, I mean, there's definitely more bugs. I mean, you can't just leave your doors open. Like in California, we were just used to leaving our doors open with no screens. So make sure you have a screen. But aside from that, the bugs haven't been nearly as bad as I think I had prepared myself for.
Okay, good. Another thing that people are always concerned about is the food in California versus out here in the South. What do you think about the food scene here, maybe locally or some of the surrounding towns?
I mean, the food is definitely different. People here have a different palate than in California. They've got different preferences. They've been raised differently for the most part. And so it's just a matter of adjusting to that. There's certain restaurants we've learned not to go to. And you just kind of have to find the ones that you like and learn to enjoy something different. You can't expect everything to be exactly like California. You just learn to embrace what is different about here.
I like that. Is there any advice that you would give anybody that's looking to move here to this area?
Just keep in mind that if you're moving here, you're moving away from California for a reason, and just learn to embrace Tennessee as it is. Don't look for things that are familiar. I think we all have a nature to look for things that are familiar, and rather than looking for things that are familiar, learn to love and embrace your new community and your new town and your new state for exactly what it is right now.
Yeah, I like it.